This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, Junior.
Yes.
Thursday, everyone looking fine. Thank you.
Fine.
Fine. All right, it's been 2 weeks since the presidential debate, and today we want to talk about the state of the campaign. So, as we mentioned yesterday, George Clooney, major donor, called for Biden to step aside for the good of the country. In the New York Times op-ed, Clooney wrote, quote, "It's devastating to say it, but the Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago with the fundraiser was not the Joe Big Bleep and Deal Biden of 2010. He wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020. He was the same man we all witnessed at the debate." Now other celebrities are echoing Clooney's call, including Michael Douglas, Rob Reiner, and Mia Farrow, all donors. Later today, Biden is set to hold a high-stakes press conference at the NATO summit. This is his first since the debate. Meanwhile, Trump has been trying to distance himself from something we brought up several times, Project 2025, which, if you do not know, is a 900-page playbook for a second Trump term. Now, I want to make sure we say this. On social media, Trump claims he does not know who is behind the project, but a CNN analysis found that at least 140 people who worked directly with Trump's administration had a hand in it.
I still believe him that he doesn't know him. I don't think he gets names.
I think he knows the architect by name. Others are voicing their concern that all this focus on President Biden is a really big diversion from the Trump campaign and his own shortcomings, including 34 felony convictions, charges of fraud, election subversion and obstruction, and of course, being held liable for sexual assault. I want to know what we think of the state of these campaigns, what's most likely to happen. What do we think Biden will do at this press conference? What do we think the polls show? Talk to me about this. What do we think?
I think we can't use the phrase shortcomings anymore. I think if those are shortcomings, it was like, Jeff, your daughter wants to date this guy. He's got some shortcomings, 34 felony. I mean, I think we should be very careful with the way that we word some of these things. I'm going to say this, and I'll toss it to you guys. Whether it's right or not, the narrative is out there that Joe Biden doesn't have the backing of his party. And optics, sadly, sometimes for your benefit or to your detriment, are the truth. And unfortunately, if he doesn't have the full support behind him, I think he's got to go, Erica.
This is interesting to me because I look at things in terms of like the playbook. What is it? Not the X's and O's, almost like the coloring. Mm-hmm. So when Al says the optics and how important they are, what I'm seeing is a situation where, and I'm going to use kind of like a sports terminology, if someone can't perform to your level, and I'm talking about administration in general, if they can't perform to your level, then as opposed to trying to get the tools to perform to your level, they take you out at your knees. It's like one of the most classic ways of competing with people. You'll notice it all the time. Like you'll have someone who is like maybe the shining star of an organization. And as opposed to someone trying to work as hard, they'll do something on the back end in order to create this illusion that they're not who they say that they are. It's really classic. That's what I'm seeing here. And the Democrats are falling for it. If you have infighting anywhere, that is going to, it's like, what is the saying? United we stand, divided we fall. That's a classic saying because it's so true. So I don't know if it's just the optics. I don't know if it's really what's happening within the party and the administration. But ultimately, everyone needs to take a step back and start thinking about how they want to speak and what the message is going to be to the American people that shows unification regardless of what's happening on the inside.
Okay, Erica's take, Jeff?
Well, you said rang true for so many things just in my own life, not only just for me, but just things that I've witnessed throughout my career. I don't know if that touched anybody else, but it really rang home to me. I got your point. For me, for the first time ever, I think Biden's going to step down. And I know I've been saying I think it's too late for him to step down. I think I'm on the other side. I thought Trump, was really in a hole after the felony charges, and then Biden chose to do that debate, and you've said, Tori, I was like, it's probably not a good idea. This could be a snafu. I use that silly word.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it could. If he has a snafu, it could affect him. So now I'm back on, if the election happened tomorrow, I think Trump Trump would win. But I really think Biden's got to step down at this point. Rob Reiner, if people don't know who Rob Reiner is. Huge Democrat, very liberal. For him to come out against Biden is big. You know, just seeing his face right there, he's the guy in the middle. That's a big one for me. So I really do think Biden's going to step down. He's going to have that speech today. He's going to come out blazing, but we're still going to see the deterioration. That you can't mask that. He'll come out, he'll read off the prompter, his team will make him do a good job, but he just doesn't have the faculties at this point to pursue another 4 years.
Can I ask you guys a quick question?
Wait, let me just really quickly. 67%. Excuse me, I want to give some polls. 67% of voters polled said Biden should step aside. That's an enormous number. But Americans are now divided between Biden and Trump. Get the polls. This is an ABC News poll, new. 46% to 47%. They're neck and neck to the ABC poll.
Right.
So do we believe the polls, or what? Do we just dismiss the polls? What do we think?
I don't buy the polls ever. I don't buy the polls ever. But this hate for Trump, I mean, this is where the bar is.
Right, it's the lowest.
You know what I mean? One guy who might not make it another 4 years is our guy.
Right.
And on the other side is like, that guy.
Right, with Project 2025.
So it's just, if we just had one person in there with common sense, I would think it'd be a landslide. But we have this two-party system, right? And I don't think there is a two-party system. I think it's a politician system. And everybody in politics is in it for themselves. And they need their party to pursue their own career, just like Erica said. And I think you should vote for who you want to vote for. Don't tell people who you're voting for, because you're going to get pushed back no matter what side you're on. Vote for whatever is State of the Union you're feeling right now will improve if you vote for your candidate.
Fair point, fair point. I do want to just say a lot of you have written me, and I want to be very clear here. I am so worried about Joe Biden, not to make division, but because I'm so scared of the threat of what Project 2025 entails. Mass deportations, enforcing the laws prohibiting use in abortions, people, transgender people banned from serving the military. So here's the thing. Politics is about pivoting. And if we need to pivot right now to win over Trump, I want my party to do that. I'm not against Biden. I'm for the best person to do so. And so is Clooney, and so is Reiner, and so is Mia Farrow. So that's what makes me worried. I still want the Democrats to win. I'm not pro-Trump, but I'm certainly concerned that we need to pivot at this time, and we're not seeing that clearly.
And the question we don't have time to answer, will the Democrats line up with whoever they put in charge? Because clearly they don't have a unified message.
Exactly. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Alec Baldwin's Rust trial resumed today. Yesterday, attorneys delivered opening statements. Baldwin's defense attorney carefully laid out their case as to whether Baldwin should be held responsible for the fatal shooting on set. Let's take a look.
This was an unspeakable tragedy, but Alec Baldwin committed no crime. He was an actor acting, playing the role of Harlan Rust. An actor playing a character can act in ways that are lethal, that just aren't lethal on a movie set.
All right, on the other side, prosecutors laid out their case. Watch this.
When someone plays make-believe with a real gun in a real-life workplace, and while playing make-believe with that gun violates the cardinal rules of firearm safety, people's lives are endangered, and someone could be killed.
The special prosecutor also played for the court footage from the moments after the shooting on set. Now, it shows people rushing to provide care and get the injured into ambulances. There was also this potential crucial piece of evidence from a cameraman who was there at the time, and I want you all to take a look at this. Watch.
How many people you think were in here when it happened?
3, maybe 4.
4?
Maybe.
Okay. So 2 more other than you two?
Reed, as soon as I see him, he
Reed?
Camera operator. Reed, yes sir.
Okay, who else?
Reed Russell was here. Alec Baldwin was the actor on set that pulled the trigger.
Okay, so he just said he pulled the trigger. Baldwin has maintained he is innocent and did not pull the trigger. Does this change anybody's mind when they hear that, Erica?
So, first of all, the cardinal rules of gun safety is that you don't point a gun at someone and you don't pull the trigger.
Right.
Which I can see the other side saying that it's a movie set and that's what that gun was intended to be there for. When you watch, like when you're looking at this footage, it's got to be so surreal.
It's chaotic, yeah.
That you were at work on a movie set and now you're standing trial for manslaughter. Like how quickly things happen.
Yeah.
But ultimately, to me, it still comes down to the culture that was cultivated on that set.
Yeah.
Does that make him responsible for manslaughter? I mean, the jury's going to decide.
I don't know. To me, it's like, even if he didn't mean to, he held the weapon that caused the death of someone else. And they're saying he had to have pulled the trigger. Involuntary manslaughter is there for that purpose.
Well, who is they? They're saying. We're talking about a man's life. We don't have proof that he did that. We don't have proof that he pulled the trigger.
The FBI says there's no way that gun could have gone off. And also, that cameraman, seconds after, says he did.
They didn't let, well, who knows what he saw? He might have just been seeing the guy holding the gun. When you're talking about something this serious, when people are saying he pulled the trigger, he didn't, even if he did, if this is illegal, no more John Wick. No more Rambo. I'm assuming all those mob movies, I see them pulling the trigger because the prosecution was using a little wordplay. She was like, we're playing make-believe. We don't pull out real guns. No, we're on a movie set where you have certain expectations of safety. You can see somebody do a backflip off a bridge and land safely at the bottom because it's a movie.
But if that's true, Al, why is Alec claiming he didn't pull the trigger?
Maybe he didn't pull it.
But the FBI is saying that's impossible.
But they did not let them test the gun, so that is irrelevant. That cannot be entered into the consciousness.
Okay, we'll see. We'll be right back. Let us know what you think.
Got a little amped up. I'm dressed like a lawyer.
Welcome back. From film to TV to theater, Blair Underwood has done it all. And I swear that man is aging like a fine wine. Earlier, he stopped by to talk to us all about his new movie with Nick Cage. Take a look.
Is it scary being a lady FBI agent?
Yeah. Take a nice long look. A letter was left with the bodies. Signed with one word.
Ooh, Blair Underwood, welcome to DBL.
It is great to be here. Thank you for having me.
You know it.
Oh, man. I'm just going to keep myself together. You were part of the formative years of my life. Crush Groove.
Oh.
Changed my life forever.
What?
Okay.
You're taking it back.
Crush Groove changed my life. It was a template for my life, okay? Let's just talk about your expansive career. But this is the second time you've played an FBI agent. Is there any type of training that you've done to prepare?
You know, not really for this. I mean, previously I had done some training, but this is so different. Long Legs are so different. It's a horror film. If you haven't seen it, you know, there are those, I will say, that are called critics who are calling it the scariest film of the decade or of the year. So Nicolas Cage plays a serial killer. I play an FBI agent who's tracking him with Micah Monroe, who's the female lead. She's really the protagonist. But I've never done an FBI agent in the context of a horror film like this. It's the first real horror film I've done. You know, serious horror film. I did Bad Hair, which was a comedy, which I love doing, but this is very different. I'm a horror fan, movie fan. Exorcist, The Omen, the classics I'm talking about, Rosemary's Baby. So to get to do a horror film like this for the first time, I'm all in.
And Long Legs is about, you said, serial killer played by Nicolas Cage, but his transformation has been kept largely a secret. So please tell us, what can we expect? Can you give us some tea?
Woo! I can't give you too much tea, but what I can tell you is that you got your tea. And I just finished my tea. Come on. But what I can tell you is, you know, Nicolas Cage came to the set. He's a method actor. So this is a serial killer, the type we've never seen. The marketing has been phenomenal. As you said, you don't see his face. You won't recognize him. You won't. He doesn't sound like himself, doesn't look like himself. And what he brings to the screen is something that people are saying is unnerving. It's unsettling. It stays with you. So it's some pretty wild stuff.
Scary.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's crazy. You should, if you read some of the reviews, it's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, which is amazing.
Wow.
But it's all largely due, obviously, to our director Oz Perkins, but to Nicolas Cage's performance.
Amazing.
What's it like working with Nick Cage? Because he's so eccentric. Did you learn anything from him, or vice versa? How does that work? I couldn't even imagine Nick Cage being right in front of me.
Yeah. Well, you know, our paths didn't cross a whole lot, but I would tell you that he was in character from the time he hit that set to the time he left. So he didn't really talk to anybody.
Whoa.
I mean, he just kind of came and did his thing, which is, it's pretty off the wall.
Man, that's wild. I couldn't, I'd be like, hey, Nick. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm not Nick right now.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I like it.
I've always wondered, is it annoying when somebody's being in character all the time?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know, when you're just near the trailers and you're like, bro, I just want to know if the coffee stand is set up yet. You don't have to use that.
I'm like, man, what? I just want to know what you have for breakfast.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
But no, on the real though, I respect it. I've done that myself sometime, only because I was playing a character who had to do who was deaf and mute. So I really needed to get into it to feel it. But I knew I annoyed some people. They say, man, I just want to know what you want for lunch. What's your lunch order? Right. I can't talk. Right? I can't. So, I tend to go with it, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk to you about this because this is, you know, away from Hollywood and show business. This is just some real life stuff, man. You just got married, so congratulations on that.
Woo!
Your wife, Josie.
Yeah.
So,
thank you.
I want to ask you, like, as a newly married man, what advice would you give to any married man that's about to take the same step you just did?
Good one.
Man, I try not to give advice. I'm newly married because that's why I need to be giving advice. But no, we just celebrated June 24th, our 1-year anniversary, and It's been amazing. But we've known each other 43 years, so there's so much history and continuity. And I think if anything, I'd say make sure you know the person.
Yeah.
What it takes to know that person, it may take 40 years, it may take, you know, a year. You know, who knows? But it's really knowing each other and trusting each other. That's what I found.
Blair, I've been with my woman for for 15 years. I was going to give you a little piece of advice.
When you were sitting in a Corvette.
No, now my whole joke's ruined. I was going to say the best piece of advice I'd give you is be a method actor. You're right.
Yes.
I'm wrong.
Yes, dear.
Stay in the zone all the time.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
You're right.
There you go.
dear.
Stay in character.
I can attest to that. It works in my marriage, too. Blair, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations. DBL Nation, you can see Longlegs in theaters starting tomorrow. Thank you again. We'll be right back. So cool. Thanks, Blair.
Awesome,
Take care. My pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Blair.
buddy.
Well, welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out. Steph, what do you have for us today? Because I'm shopping and I'm ready to go.
Up first today, we've got the Sunbeam Wrist Blood Pressure Monitor with a voice broadcast. The blood pressure monitor announces easy to understand, clinically tested, accurate accurate results out loud. You can easily track and store up to 90 readings. Normally this is $40.
Okay, not bad.
We've got it for $12.99, which is saving everyone 68%. Up next, we've got the 2-pack Pure Hyper Audio mini speakers.
Ooh.
And with this deal, you can pair the speakers together if you need a louder sound. Super Summer Steals are some of the hottest deals that we will have all summer, so do not wait for this one. They usually are $25 each.
Okay.
We've got a 2-pack for $10.
For both?
For both of them. So that's saving 80%. And then next up, we've got the 2-pack Villanovum Zero Shift Plush Gel Fiber Pillow. They're created with this super plush gel that's been tailored to ensure maximum comfort for any sleeping position. Normally these range between $130 to $150.
Wow.
We've got a 2-pack, however, for $29. That's saving you 81%. And last but not least today, one of our absolute favorites, it is a Cuisinart touchscreen 14-cup programmable coffee maker.
Whoa.
Inside there's a gold tone coffee filter, which means no paper filters are needed, so it means it's really easy to clean after use. Normally this is $130.
Okay.
We, however, have got it for $79.99. That is saving 38%. And, you know, having a good cup of coffee in the morning, Tori, really sets you up for the day, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. All right, guys, head on over to morningsave.com to snag all of these amazing products at the lowest prices, or you can scan that QR code. You can see it. It's right on your screen. It will take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph. Some good stuff. I just used my Morning Save toothbrush this morning.
Oh, okay.
Ding.
You take your word for it?
Yeah, very good.
All right. I wanted to get into our debate about swans. We'll do that tomorrow.
We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Swan debate tomorrow.
Looking forward to it.
New every day.
You're
We'll see you
welcome.
tomorrow.